Today, I will survive 100 days in RealismCraft, a mod that adds new biomes and turns every animal into something that looks real. Oh nice, wow, look at everything, it looks so cool. Wait, is that supposed to be a cow? Okay, I like it. Not gonna lie though, this cow is looking pretty fat. And we can see its stains sticking out, but whatever. Okay, the chicken is peak. Okay, the chicken might be one of the best things. I mean, look at it. Oh, look at that. They have black and white cows. That's nice. Yo, look how I'm walking. Wow, this is cool. It looks like I'm actually walking normally. Wait, is that a pig? Nice. Look at this movement. Alright. I could definitely get used to this. Anyways, let's start punching down a tree. Then crafted a crafting table. And some sticks. The crafting table looked epic and the sticks too. They looked like real life branches from a tree. Anyways, I then used it to craft a tool, and let me say that this wooden pickaxe looked amazing. I also found another type of cow, and yeah, everything was looking so cool. And a brown like chicken. Anyways, I went down to get some stone. And the stone kind of looked the same, but it was fine. Because the cobblestone looked 10 times better. I of course threw my wooden pickaxe away because I didn't need it anymore. Then began using my cobblestone to craft tools. And before doing anything else, I just wanted to take a second to look at the tools. First of all, the stone sword was beautiful. And the furnace actually looked kind of real. Like an oven that they would have in medieval houses. I knew I would have to kill some animals. So of course that's what I did. And the food itself even looked 10 times better. However, I wouldn't have to kill too many animals as I found a village. Now I will be able to take the hay bales and everything else the village had to offer. And the wheat looked so cool. It was turning nighttime and I enjoyed seeing the sunset. Then I went to bed. I took one of the beds with me. I crafted some bread and it just looked so cool. And the movements that I saw was so cool. Like it looks like the villagers are actually moving. And I found so many different variants of animals. Especially cows. Anyways, I made sure to kill the iron golem. Which also had a major upgrade as you can see. Anyways, once I made sure to kill him, I grabbed the 5 iron that he gave me, which was really lucky. And used it to craft the iron pickaxe and a shield. So I would just throw my stone axe away. As I will now have my even cooler looking iron axe. I then decided to leave the village and go explore. See what this world had to offer. And try to find a cave for more resources. By the way, the shield looked beautiful, like wonderful. Much better than the regular one. Eventually, I found a cave, and lucky for us, right near it was coal. And it would be easy to get, so it would be no problem. And the coal this time around looked kind of odd. But I would say cool at the same time. Before fighting mobs, I would craft a little more food for myself using the hay bales that I just got. Also, before going to the cave, I found this giant squid in the water. And it looked pretty interesting. It was a beautiful sight to see. I then tried entering the cave until I noticed this awesome looking skeleton standing right there. A creeper was approaching me, and let me say that this creeper was not a normal one. And when it blew up, it was just so realistic and beautiful to see. And the zombie was just wonderful. It made weird movements and it acted just like a zombie should. And I couldn't even tell what the zombie was wearing, but it looked like it was a golden helmet. Which looked absolutely wonderful, but of course it had low durability, so I just decided to throw it away. I then realized that I actually haven't crafted any of my coal into torches yet. So I left the cave since there were a lot of mobs there. Then took some time to actually craft some torches. Then I noticed that I didn't actually have any wood, so I have to go get more. So I started to chomp some trees. Then once I got a little more wood, with torches that looked absolutely fire. And I don't mean just literally, I mean how it looks. I mean the way the torches just lit up like that is just wonderful. I mean look how awesome this is. Anyways, I found another skeleton, but this time it was underwater. And yes, it looked so cool. Like everything else, it made real life movements and it looked just like an actual skeleton. which made it extra satisfying to kill. I then will go into the cave to start mining some coal, and some iron ores, which looked very cool. And the iron looked so realistic that I couldn't even tell if it was raw. I mean, this is how it looked. Once I got all the stuff I needed, I returned to the surface. Also, I just wanted to mention how cool the running animations are. First of all, you already seen me walking, and it's animated like this. And when I hold up the shield, it's like I'm actually fighting. So cool. But when I'm sprinting, look at this. I'm actually running around. These animated movements are just so cool. This is just awesome. Anyways, I think now it's time to grab this furnace and start smelting some iron. And as you can see, I got quite a bit of coal. Oh wow, that's how it looks when the food is smelting? Cool. Now this looks good. Okay, and now all the iron's done. And now we could craft the armor. Ooh, it looks cool. This might actually be the best piece of armor I ever had. I really look like a literal knight. And combined with these animations, I think this is looking great. Wow, so much detail. I definitely feel very good right now in this iron armor. And the iron tools are just beautiful. Anyways, I think it's time to start searching for a base because we could really use a base right now. Plus, I'm ready to start building out of these materials. So, I will spend many days traveling around my world. I will travel further and further, and even found new and unique biomes, until I finally found what I was looking for, the perfect home. So I actually haven't found a home yet, but I have found this mountain biome, and it does have a lot of iron on it. And we probably could use the extra iron since we only have 18 left. So I'm going to go ahead and mine a little more. Just until my pickaxe breaks, then I'm going to save the cords. And while I was traveling, I found this new mob. It looked like a bull. In any case, it was pretty cool. And I think that we finally have found our perfect home. First of all, it's right near a river, which is what I like. And I feel like this is just a good position for a house to be in too. And I just love this biome, so I'm going to build in here. With that said, it's time to push all of our stuff down and craft some chests. You know, I gotta say, the chest doesn't look too bad. Anyways, let's just put all our stuff in. So, before doing anything else, I need to spend some time chopping down these birch trees. Because I can't build this house without the space. So, I'm gonna spend some time mining. I kept chopping down trees until there was enough room for me to build. And now it's safe to say that we have enough space to build the house. Oh, and look what we have here, Wandering Trader. It looks epic. But it still has bad trades, so you gotta go, buddy. Before we do anything, I do want to make an animal pen right here for the cows. So let's start doing that. Once I finished making the pen, I got some wheat from the hay bales and tried to attract some cows into the barn. And as you can see, the cows are not only much more realistic, but much bigger too. Anyways, that's one cow, so now we just need one more. Come here, buddy. And now let's feed them. Now we can actually get started on building. Actually, I think I'm just gonna try to only use birchwood for this house, because I have a very cool idea. So, I will just spend the next couple of days trying to build the best base possible for myself. I of course made sure to strip the logs and put some trap doors on the side to make the window frame look better. And I would use the wildflower and roses to add some extra decorations. And I would also use the firebush as well. And for the roof, I would just use the new orange leaves. The orange color just looks so cool. And when everything was done, the house was looking wonderful. There's actually a lot of mobs spawned in my house because I didn't light it up yet. So I think it's time for my torches to shine. Yeah, there are a lot of skeletons in here. Get out of my house, people. Yeah, we definitely took quite a little damage from that, but at least we got extra bones. And look how many arrows are here. There was like 4 skeletons I had to fight. Okay, now let's see what's on the second floor. Yeah, I'm already hearing a lot of noises. Yo, that creeper literally ruined everything. It blew a hole in my entire house. Well, I guess this means I have to rebuild it now. For what it's worth, I think it could have been a lot worse, like if it was 5 creepers and this whole house would have blew up. Okay, and with that, everything should be fixed. Next time, let's make sure to put torches in our house earlier. Anyways, now that our beautiful house is done, I think I want to move my stuff in. So let's get to doing that. Alright, and now all of our stuff are inside. And the bed is on the second floor up here. Yeah, I don't know, I really like this house. And by adding the orange leaves on the top, it really blends in with the biome that we're in. I don't know, I just like the style. Anyways, we haven't actually made any farms yet. So I think we should get to doing that now. So I will spend the next couple of days making farms. A wheat farm and a carrot farm. So right now we are still in iron armor and tools. Which I don't mind, by the way, because this armor looks beautiful. But I think it's time we get a major upgrade to some diamond gear. And for that, I think I'm just gonna go strip mining, so yeah. And I guess we'll see how that goes. I'm pretty sure the best Y level to go strip mining in is Y level -54. So we'll just go straight down there. So after getting all the pickaxes and tools I need, I will go down to Y level 54 and start looking for diamonds. And when I was done strip mining, I managed to get 29 diamonds in total. Look how cool the diamonds are, they look excellent. Wow, they definitely look like the real life diamonds now. So obviously this isn't enough diamonds, but for now we're just gonna craft some armor. And the armor already looks cool, but let's test it out. Alright, this looks legit. Wow, this diamond armor looks super duper cool. And look at all the detail they put into it, wow. Well, we really only have a diamond sword and a diamond pickaxe. So I'm gonna have to go back down to a cave and try to see if I could get more. And I'm definitely gonna bring my bed with me, and I'm gonna get a little more bread, as we're gonna need as much food as possible. And I think we should also bring our little boat with us. Okay, and this should be everything we need. So now that I was prepared to go, I will begin traveling very far, passing through different forests, until I finally found a cave. While traveling through the savannah, I found a village, and a new mob, although I did not know what the name of the animal was. Anyways, I went into the village and started to collect everything I could, especially the hay bales and the wheat. Wait, is that an armadillo? Wow. Once I was done getting distracted by the armadillo, I would continue to search for a cave as I still needed the diamonds. By traveling through the desert, I found yet another village. And just like I did with the last one, I collected all the resources and everything they had to offer, like food. So I have found a cave, but I'm not going to go down to explore it just yet, because you guys need to see this. I have found yet another village. I'm not really sure what's going on. I mean, there's just so many villages in this world. But regardless of that, I didn't need to collect anything from this village, so I just left it alone, and proceeded to go down to the cave that I found. Unfortunately, the deep straight part of the cave was just too small, so I would have to go back up to the surface to try to find another one. Eventually, I was able to find another cave. At last, I finally have some diamonds. It took way longer than expected to get these. I mean, right now we're on day 57. But hey, at least I have these diamonds now. I still can't believe how many villages we found. Anyways, with that all said, I think it's time to go back home. And I am definitely ready to go back. So I got in the boat, and once again started traveling. This time to go back home. It did take some time to get back home, especially since I was so far away. But eventually I found my home again. Yep, this is definitely the biome that we live in. Alright, home sweet home. Man, it feels so good to be here. And I think we're real quickly just going to use the extra wheat seeds that we just got from the villages and put it into the farm. The more food, the merrier. Okay, let's craft the rest of my tools. Alright, I'm definitely feeling good with all these tools on me. Man, I'm so glad that we're back home now. Hold on, I am going to need my water bucket to do one quick thing. So as you could expect, I placed the water down and turned all the lava into obsidian, until I had enough for an enchantment table and a ruin portal. First I wanted to work on the ruin portal, so I grabbed some iron and flint, and went up to the second floor of my house to start building it. Then of course lit up the portal with flint and steel. Next I will work on the enchantment table, which was easy since I already had everything I would need. I had 2 diamonds left over, leather, and sugarcane for paper. Once I made the enchantment table, I decided to place it outside as I will build a house for it later. Right now, I just want to be able to tame a wolf. So let's go find one. It actually took some time for the wolf to spawn, but eventually I found it and it was looking as cool as ever. Alright, and now we have our dog. I'm actually just gonna let him stay in my base because I don't want him to get attacked at night. Man, the wolves look so cool. You know, the wolves look much bigger in this mod. So we could let this dog just stay in my base, or we could build a base just for it. And I think I'm gonna build a base for this dog. And trust me, I have a great idea for what this wolf base is gonna look like. With that said, I left my house and decided to spend some more time gathering materials. And I will also have to go to the nether to get quartz. So of course I brought my golden helmet with me. However, the spawn point was bad. This is probably one of the worst spawns it could get, cause this is too dangerous. Hoping to find a new biome. Unfortunately, I died and lost all my stuff. The good news is that this wasn't hardcore, so I could just respawn. I didn't know that I had iron armor in my chest though, so that's what I got. I didn't want to go back to the nether to see if I could get my stuff back. So I would have to bring more food with me again. But then that's when I decided to not actually bring any iron armor with me, because if I died again I wouldn't want to lose this. And went to the nether without any armor. Thankfully I was able to find my diamond chestplate the place where I died. So I just put it back on. But that was the only thing left. Okay, now that I have my diamond chestplate, I'll just only grab the iron helmet, the boots, and the leggings. At least we have this leftover armor. And now I'm going to use the last of the 9 iron we have left to make new tools. As you could expect, I was getting ready to travel once again, as I knew that I would have to go back down to a cave to get more diamonds, as I needed to get my stuff back. So I will once again leave my home to go find a cave. Thankfully I managed to find a good cave with a lot of diamonds. I was still upset that I died, but I couldn't stay upset for too long as I got all my diamond armor and tools back. But this time I would make sure to stay away from the nether as I didn't want to die again. I would still have to go to the nether eventually, but for now I would take a break. Now I could once again focus on the task of building a home for my wolf pet. So I gathered the remaining materials, then start spending a couple of days working on the home for my wolf. And I used mostly birds and oak wood to build it. Alright, and I think this looks good. As you can see, I decided to make like a big dog as the home. Yeah, this definitely looks like one of the Minecraft wolves. I think I did a good job with it overall. And as you can see, we put our actual pet right here. I hope you like your home, buddy. I worked very hard to make this for you. Yeah, I think he's happy. It actually took me a bit of time to make this because I had to make sure that everything is accurate. But the time was definitely worth it. So at this point, I had more than enough cows and sugarcane. So I started to kill all the cows in my farm, making sure not to kill the babies, of course. And I definitely killed more cows than I had to, but at least we have a lot of raw beef and food now. Next, I will start collecting all the sugarcane that had grown, and combine the leather and paper I got to make books for a level 30 enchantment setup. And this is our level 30 enchantment setup. Of course, we do not have enough XP to get a level 30 enchantment. Anyways, I do want to build a storage house because in the future, we're going to be collecting a lot of blocks and well, this place is not going to cut it. So I'll have to build a house dedicated to storage. So I will grab the extra iron that I obtained from the cave and start smelting it. I didn't want my diamond axe being too low in durability, so I put it in my chest. And decided to only use iron axes for now. So of course I had to spend even more days chopping down trees for my storage house. And I went into the mines to collect some granite and some tuff. I did have all the materials I needed now, but I still needed a place to actually build a storage house. And the birch trees were getting in the way, so of course I had to chomp them down. Alright, and now we can start building. I will first start working on the first floor, only using deep slate for the walls. Next, I will start the outline to the second floor of the house, using oak wood of course, and I will fill in the walls of the second floor with oak planks. And I will once again use orange leaves to build my house. The house was looking pretty good, but now I will have to add the decorations. I will add some tough bricks and different variants of deep slate to add some texture. And of course I used oak fences for the windows. And it didn't look too bad in this mod. It actually looked 10 times better. And of course added a door. And on top of all the texture I was adding, I will also add flowers in the front of the window as it will make the house look cuter. I also used oak fences for the window design on the second floor. And made a combination of stripped spruce logs and granite to add extra detail and texture. And of course I added the oak trap doors on the side. Now I just had to light up the inside with torches. And start filling in the floor with oak planks. Alright, and now we could just add some chests into the house. And I think I have an idea on how I could add some more chests in the middle. Okay, and I'm liking the way the first floor is looking so far. We have the chest around it, and then we have these 4 chests in the middle. And that created this like nice, neat design. And we have a ladder right here to get to the second floor. Which I actually haven't torched up yet, but we'll worry about that later. Yeah, this place is looking pretty great so far. We have our enchantment setup, our farms. We have a cow barn over here. We have the house that I live in, a storage house. And even a base for our little doggy right here. Okay, so I was actually able to get a name tag from a spawner I found. And I think I'm going to use it to name my doggy right here. Okay, I am going to need to craft an anvil. Now hopefully I have enough iron to actually do that. Yeah, this is definitely not going to be enough iron, so I'm going to go down to get some. Okay, now if we smelt the rest of this iron, that should be enough. Tomorrow was finally going to be day 100. Unfortunately though, while we were mining, I missed the sunset. But it was fine. It was nighttime, but I still just wanted to look at my area. I wanted to see all the progress that I had made. And now the moon sets, as the beautiful sun rises. What a great journey this has been. Alright, we have to get some iron to make an anvil. For some reason that still was not enough iron, so I have to go back into the caves. Now we can finally make an anvil. Okay, let's see, what should we name him? Wolf God. Yeah, I think that suits this buddy pretty well. Your new name will be the Wolf God. And that will be 100 days in RealismCraft. And if you enjoyed the video, make sure to subscribe.